Generosity is a seed that blooms in the briefest moments. You know that feeling, don't you? When you give without expecting anything back, a kind word, a helping hand, a moment of your time. Maybe it was a time you paid for someone's coffee or stayed late to help a friend. That generosity is like planting a seed in the heart of someone you meet, knowing it might be their last day. It grows into a warmth that could carry them through the night. Forgiveness in a fleeting encounter. It's like rebuilding a bridge. In an instant. Picture a moment when you let go of a hurt, knowing time is short, maybe a quick apology to a colleague, or a softened heart toward a family member. You might recall how it lifted a weight from both of you. That forgiveness, it's a seed sown in the urgency of a day, growing into a peace that could be their final gift before midnight. Every encounter teaches you something, doesn't it? It's like a lesson carved in the fleeting seconds you share. You might think of a time when a conversation showed you a new perspective, maybe a stranger's story, or a friend's quiet wisdom. That moment, it's a seed of learning, planted in the urgency of now, growing into a truth that shapes how you meet the next person before the clock runs out. Empathy is a seed that connects souls in an instant. Picture putting yourself in someone's shoes, feeling their joy or pain as if it's yours. You might recall a time when you understood someone's struggle, maybe a coworker's stress or a loved one's silent grief. That empathy, it's a seed sown in the precious hours of a day, growing into a bond that makes someone feel known before the night falls. Haste steals moments, doesn't it? You felt it rushing through a conversation, missing the chance to connect. Maybe you've hurried past someone who needed you, only to wish you'd slowed down. Now imagine treating each person as if their time is almost up. That pause, that choice to be present, it's a seed of connection, growing into a moment that could be their last light before midnight. Recognizing someone's worth, it's like seeing a star in a crowded sky. You might think of a time when you acknowledged someone's value, maybe a quiet thank you to a server or a nod to a stranger. That recognition, it's a seed planted in the urgency of a fleeting day, growing into a warmth that tells them they matter, that their life shines before the clock strikes. Meeting someone from your past, it's like finding a forgotten seed that's ready to grow. You might recall a moment when you reconnected, maybe an old friend or someone you'd wronged. That encounter, treated as if it's their last, plants a seed of healing, growing into a moment that could mend what was broken before the day ends. That trust is a seed that takes root in careful moments. Picture offering someone your confidence, believing in their goodness. You might think of a time when you trusted someone new, maybe a coworker or a neighbor who needed a chance. That trust, it's a seed sown in the urgency of a final day, growing into a bond that could be their last before midnight. Silence can be a bridge, can't it? Not the kind that separates, but the kind that connects two hearts. You might recall a moment when you shared a quiet pause with someone, a friend in pain, or a stranger in need. That silence, it's a seed planted in the fleeting hours, growing into a connection that speaks louder than words, carrying them through their final moments. Gratitude shared between two people, it's like a light that multiplies. You might think of a time when you and someone else gave thanks together, maybe for a shared moment or a kindness exchanged. That gratitude, it's a seed sown in the urgency of now, growing into a joy that could be their last before the clock strikes. Midnight. Imagine waking up today with a single thought. What if every person you meet won't see tomorrow? That stranger at the coffee shop, the colleague you pass in the hall, the loved one you take for granted gone by midnight. It changes everything, doesn't it? The way you speak, the way you listen, the way you show up. It's like holding a candle that's burning fast, its light urging you to make every moment count. You felt that fleeting urgency before, haven't you? A moment when you realized time with someone was precious, and you wished you'd said more, done more. Now, picture yourself standing face to face with someone, knowing this might be your last chance to connect. The clock is ticking and every word carries weight. You might think of a time when you spoke with care, when your kindness left a mark. Maybe it was a moment you told someone what they meant to you, or when a simple gesture made a difference. That urgency, it's not about fear, it's about love. It's about treating each person as a gift, planting seeds of connection that could bloom in ways you'll never see. What do you think so far? Can you feel the weight of that idea? Treating every encounter like it's the last? Share your thoughts, because this journey is as much yours as it is mine. There's power in a single look, isn't there? A glance that says, "I see you." You know that feeling when someone's eyes meet yours, and for a moment, you're truly known. Maybe it was a stranger who smiled when you needed it, or a friend who saw your pain without you saying a word. The Bible says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." That love starts with seeing, with giving your attention, like it's the last gift you'll ever give. It's a bridge built in a moment, connecting two souls before the clock strikes midnight. Thank you for staying with me this far. Your presence here means everything, and I promise you, the best is yet to come. Keep walking with me, because this story is about to get even deeper. Words are like seeds, scattered in every conversation. They can grow into something beautiful, or wither if left careless. Think of a time when someone's words stayed with you, maybe a compliment that lifted your spirit, or a harsh comment that stung long after. Now imagine choosing your words as if they're the last someone will hear. That choice, it's a seed of kindness, planted in a moment with roots that can change a life. It's the difference between a hurried hello and a heartfelt "you matter." Kindness is a gift you give without knowing its impact. It's like scattering seeds in a field, trusting they'll grow. You might recall a moment when you offered a small act of kindness, a helping hand, a warm word, and saw someone's face light up. That act, it's a seed that takes root in their heart, maybe even in yours. It's the choice to treat each person as if their time is running out, knowing that your kindness could be the light they carry into the night. But indifference, it has a weight too, doesn't it? You felt it when someone looked through you, when a moment to connect was missed. Maybe you've been the one to rush past, too busy to notice. Imagine if you'd known that was their last day. Would you have stopped? Would you have listened? Indifference is a missed chance to plant a seed, to leave a mark of love. But you can choose differently, treating each encounter as a moment that could echo forever. Compassion is a touch that heals. It's like a hand reaching out in the dark, offering warmth. You might think of a time when someone's compassion changed you, maybe a friend who sat with you in silence, or a stranger who offered help when you were lost. The Bible speaks of bearing one another's burdens, of loving with action. That compassion, it's a seed sown in urgency, growing into a connection that outlasts the ticking clock. Time binds us, doesn't it? Every encounter happens in a moment that won't come again. You might recall a time when you felt the fleeting nature of a conversation, maybe with someone you loved or someone you'll never see again. Treating each person as if their time is short, it's like holding a fragile thread, weaving it into something lasting. It's a reminder that every second you give is a seed, planting love that could bloom beyond midnight. And then there's the act of listening, really listening. You know that moment when someone gives you their full attention and you feel truly heard. Maybe it was a conversation where you poured out your heart and they stayed present without rushing. That listening, it's a seed of understanding, planted in the soil of a fleeting moment. It's choosing to hear as if this is the last chance, making someone feel seen before the day ends. There's a power in silence, isn't there? Not the kind that ignores, but the kind that holds space for someone else. You know that moment when you sit quietly with someone, letting them be without needing to fill the air with words. Maybe it was a time when you comforted a friend in grief, or simply stayed present for a stranger. That silence, it's a seed of connection, planted in the urgency of a moment that might be their last. It's a gift that says, you're not alone before the clock runs out. Forgiveness is a seed you plant when you treat someone as if this is their final day. Picture letting go of a grudge, knowing you might never get another chance. You might recall a time when you forgave someone a harsh word, a broken promise, and felt lighter for it. The Bible says, be kind and compassionate, forgiving each other. That forgiveness, it's a seed sown in the fleeting hours, growing into peace that heals both you and them before midnight strikes. Gratitude can transform a moment, can't it? It's like a light that shines when you pause to appreciate someone. Think of a time when you thanked someone, really meant it maybe. A loved one, or even a stranger who helped you. That gratitude, it's a seed planted in the urgency of now, growing into a warmth that lingers. It's choosing to say, you matter, as if this is the last chance you'll get to say it. Judgments build walls, don't they? You've felt it when you judge someone too quickly, or when you are judged and felt unseen. Now imagine letting go of that, seeing each person as if their time is running out. Maybe you've had a moment when you chose empathy over judgment, and it changed everything. That choice, it's a seed of connection, breaking down barriers, growing into understanding before the day ends. Hope is a seed you give when you treat someone with love. It's like planting a spark in their heart, trusting it will grow. You might think of a time when you encouraged someone, maybe a kind word that lifted their spirit when they were down. That hope, it's a seed sown in the fleeting moments of a day, growing into a light that could carry them through their final hours. The past has a way of shaping how you meet people, doesn't it? You might recall an encounter that left you wishing you'd done things differently. A missed chance to connect, a moment you rushed through. Those memories, they're seeds of learning, teaching you to approach each new meeting with care. They remind you to treat every person as if this is their last day, planting seeds of love that heal old wounds. Connecting with someone takes courage, doesn't it? It's like stepping onto a fragile bridge, not knowing if it'll hold. You might think of a time when you reached out maybe to someone you barely knew, or someone you drifted from. That courage, it's a seed planted in the urgency of a moment, growing into a bond that could outlast the ticking clock. It's choosing to show up, knowing time is short. A smile can change everything, can't it? It's like a ray of light in a dark room. You know that feeling when someone's smile made your day, or when yours lifted someone else. Maybe it was a stranger at the store, or a friend who needed it. That smile, it's a seed of joy, planted in a moment that might be their last, growing into a warmth that lingers long after. Patience is a seed you sow when you give someone your time. Picture waiting for someone to open up, giving them space to share. You might recall a moment when you listened patiently maybe to a child or a friend in pain. That patience, it's a seed planted in the urgency of now, growing into understanding. That honors their fleeting time. Every encounter leaves a mark, doesn't it? Like footprints in the sand, some fade, but others last. You might think of a moment when someone's kindness stayed with you, or when your actions touched someone's life. That moment, it's a seed of legacy, planted in the heart of someone you meet, growing into a memory that could outlast the stroke of midnight. Faith can weave a thread through every encounter, can't it? It's like a light that guides how you meet others. You might recall a moment when your belief shaped a conversation, maybe a shared prayer, or a quiet trust that brought you closer. The Bible says, "Let us love one another, for love comes from God." That faith, it's a seed planted in the urgency of a fleeting moment, growing into a connection that feels eternal. Even if the clock is ticking toward midnight, listening with your heart, that's where true connection begins. Picture sitting with someone feeling their words, not just hearing them. You might think of a time when you really listened, maybe to a loved one's fears or a stranger's story. That kind of listening, it's a seed of understanding, sown in the precious hours of a day. It's treating someone as if their words might be their last, giving them the gift of being truly heard before the night falls. Time has a way of healing, doesn't it? When you treat each encounter as if it's the last, you offer a kind of balm. You might recall a moment when a conversation brought peace, maybe a kind word that soothed a wound, or a shared silence that felt like healing. That time you give, it's a seed of restoration, growing into a moment of solace that could carry someone through their final hours. Honesty is a seed that builds trust in every meeting. It's like planting truth in the soil of a moment. You might think of a time when you spoke from the heart, maybe admitting a mistake or sharing a truth that deepened a bond. That honesty, it's a seed sown with care, knowing time is short, growing into a connection that's real, that lasts beyond the day. That pride can block the way, can't it? It's like a wall that keeps you from truly seeing someone. You might recall a time when pride held you back, maybe a moment you didn't apologize or didn't reach out. Now imagine letting that go, treating each person as if midnight is near. That humility, it's a seed of connection, breaking down barriers, growing into a bond that honors the fleeting time you share. Being present is like lighting a flame in a dark room. You know that feeling when you give someone your full attention and the world seems to pause. Maybe it was a moment with a friend or even a stranger where you were fully there. That presence, it's a seed of love, planted in the urgency of now, growing into a warmth that could be their last light before the clock strikes. Meeting a stranger, it's a chance to plant something new. Picture a moment when you treated someone unknown with kindness, maybe a smile, a helping hand. You might recall how it changed the air, how it lifted both of you. That encounter, it's a seed of possibility, sown in the fleeting seconds of a day, growing into a moment that could ripple beyond midnight. Respect is a seed that grows in every interaction. It's like offering a steady hand to someone crossing a bridge. You might think of a time when you honored someone's dignity, maybe by listening without judgment or valuing their story. That respect, it's a seed planted in the urgency of a final day, growing into a connection that makes someone feel seen, valued before the night comes. Acceptance is a quiet gift, isn't it? It's like a river flowing around a stone, embracing what is. You might recall a time when you accepted someone fully, flaws and all, and felt the connection deepen. That acceptance, it's a seed sown in the precious moments you share, growing into a peace that honors their time, as if this were their last day. Vulnerability, it's a bridge to real connection. Picture opening your heart, even just a little, knowing time is short. You might think of a moment when you let someone in, maybe shared a fear or a hope and felt closer for it. That vulnerability, it's a seed planted in the urgency of now, growing into a bond that could be the last gift you give before midnight strikes. Courage is a seed you plant when you choose to love in every moment. It's like stepping into the unknown, knowing time is fleeting. You might recall a time when you reached out despite fear, maybe a kind word to someone who seemed distant, or a gesture that felt risky. That courage, it's a seed sown in the urgency of a day that might be their last, growing into a connection that could light their way before midnight. A heart that transforms others. It's like a garden that blooms for all who pass by. You might think of a moment when your kindness changed someone, maybe a conversation that lifted their spirit, or an act that gave them hope. That transformation, it's a seed planted in the precious hours you share, growing into a ripple that could be their final memory of love. Time reveals the value of each person, doesn't it? It's like uncovering a hidden gem in the rush of a day. You might recall a moment when you saw someone's worth, maybe a quiet coworker, or a stranger you took time to know. That recognition, it's a seed sown in the urgency of now, growing into a moment that could shine in their heart as the clock nears midnight. Kindness leaves a lasting mark, like a seed that grows long after it's planted. You might think of a time when your small act of care stayed with someone, a thank you, a smile, a helping hand. That kindness, it's a seed sown in the fleeting moments of a day, growing into a warmth that could be their last light before the night falls. Distraction steals connection, doesn't it? You felt it when you're too busy to notice, too rushed to care. Maybe you've missed a chance to connect, only to wish you'd paused. Now imagine treating each person as if their time is almost gone. That presence, it's a seed of love, planted in the urgency of now, growing into a moment that could mean everything before midnight. Faith shared with another. It's like a light that binds you together. The Bible says, "Where two or three gather in my name, there I am with them." You might recall a moment when faith deepened a connection, maybe a shared prayer, or a belief that united you. That faith, it's a seed planted in the urgency of a final day, growing into a bond that could carry them through the night. Some encounters heal, don't they? It's like offering a balm to a wounded heart. You might think of a time when your kindness soothed someone's pain, maybe a word that calmed a fear, or a gesture that brought peace. That healing, it's a seed sown in the precious hours you share, growing into a comfort that could be their last before the clock strikes. Hope is a seed that endures, even in the shortest moments. Picture planting a spark in someone's heart, knowing it might be their final day. You might recall a time when you gave someone hope, maybe a smile, or an encouraging word that lifted them. That hope, it's a seed sown in the urgency of now, growing into a light that could shine in their heart as midnight nears. Every person you meet leaves a legacy, like seeds scattered across a field. You might think of how someone's kindness stayed with you, or how your actions touched another's life. That legacy, it's a seed planted in every encounter, growing into a story that could outlast the day. Each moment you share, it's a chance to leave something eternal before the night falls. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, treat every person you meet as if this is their last day. Pause, listen, love with urgency. Maybe it's a kind word, a moment of presence, or a gesture of care. Reflect on what you could do differently. Write it down, share it, or hold it close. Make each encounter a seed of love, planted in the fleeting hours of now. Because when the clock strikes midnight, what will you wish you'd given?